We are the absolute creators of our biology. When you're changing consciousness, you're not changing the physical matter, you're changing the field, which then shapes physical matter. We are the most powerful, adaptive, creative organism on this planet. The evolution we're facing is to wake up. When you look at the world today and you see chaos in every corner of this planet, we have religious, economic, racial chaos. We're unsustainable. The only way to build a sustainable civilization is not on the foundation of today's civilization, because it's the cause of the problem. You can't fix the one we have. It has to be leveled. When one civilization ends, a new one begins. And we're on the threshold of creating a new civilization. The world is in a constant struggle here. And the problem that we're facing is we're adding the biggest stress of all, and nobody's even talking about it.
Welcome back to the Healing and Human Potential podcast. Today, we're going to be exploring one of life's biggest questions. Are we truly free? Or are we just living out of the subconscious programming from our past? We'll explore how our hidden beliefs shape our biology, our relationships, and how awakening out of this societal programming actually supports us in living with more creativity, aliveness, and love. Joining us is Dr. Bruce Lipton, renowned biologist and best-selling author whose work bridges science and spirituality. His energy is contagious. You will fall in love with him. And in this episode, he's going to share with you how we're not victims to our past, but we're conscious creators of our future. I hope you enjoy. I know that the reason most people don't take action isn't because of skill. It's also not because of the desire. A lot of the time, it's because there's fear and anxiety that gets in the way. And I'm curious from your perspective, what this reveals about our conscious and subconscious programming.
People think love and hate are the opposites when that's not true. Hate is a funny form of love. What do you mean? How can it be a funny form of love? Because to hate somebody, you have to hold on to them, okay? So you can hold on to them good love, or you can hold on to them bad. But fear is the opposite. Fear shuts off growth. And the hormones, the cortisol and these hormones that come from fear, have three functions that are causing the health problems. 90% of the health problems on the planet today are caused by fear. I go, well, how come? I mean, what's the basis? And the point is this. Three things happen when you're in fear. The stress hormones get you ready for fight or flight. That's the job. Run from that saber-toothed tiger. Well, I go, well, basically, then, what systems in my body will I be using when I'm running from that tiger? And the answer is arms and legs. Okay, run, fight. I go, yeah, but what's the point? Well, to energize this, you have to put the blood into the arms and legs preferentially, because the blood is the source of energy. So I go, yeah, and where's the blood when we're not in fear? Oh, it's in growth. And I go, yeah, so where is it? In the viscera, the organs of the body, cleaning, filtering, repairing, doing all the things to keep us in a healthy body mode. I say, yeah, but what happens when the fear hormones come in? Number one, you cause the blood vessels in the gut to squeeze shut. I go, why? Because it pushes the blood to the arms and legs. Okay? Now, people feel that. They refer to it as butterflies in the stomach or being queasy. I go, what's that mean? You can feel the blood vessels squeezing shut, and it feels like queasy going on. But the point is, push the blood to the arms and legs. So first point, the moment you're in fear, you're shutting down the maintenance of the body. Okay? Number two, the immune system uses a tremendous amount of energy. So yeah, if you've been really sick, you didn't have the energy to get out of the bed. I go, yeah, but if you're being chased by a saber-toothed tiger and you have an inflammation, how much energy should you use to fight the inflammation? And how much energy should you use to run away from the tiger? No brainer. Here's the point, and this is a most important fact. Stress hormones shut off the immune system. Why? To conserve energy, because if the tiger catches you, whatever disease or issues you have, you don't have them anymore. So the immune system, in fact, let me just tell you how important it is. When surgeons want to replace an organ from person A into person B, transplant, they give the recipient stress hormones before the operation. The reason is when you put a foreign organ into a person's body, their immune system is designed to destroy it and get rid of it. Well, I'm transplanting an organ. I don't want the recipient's immune system to kill it. So stress hormones are the thing that they use to shut off that immune system so that the graft will take place. Profoundly important because you are inhibiting the immune system, which keeps you alive, okay? Number 3, and I like to refer to this as an insult to the injury you already have. I go, what is it? In a fight or flight situation, thinking is not good. I go, why not? Because it's too long. It doesn't react fast enough. Thinking is like, I go, no, you can't. If you're being chased by a tiger, you don't go, no, you gotta go. I say, so what does that mean? The forebrain is consciousness and thinking. The hindbrain is reactions and reflexes. So remember I said that the stress hormones cause the blood vessels in the gut to squeeze shut? They cause the blood vessels in the forebrain to squeeze shut. Why? It pushes the blood to the hindbrain where reaction fast can occur. So guess what? We become less intelligent when we're under a fear situation. Now, you might say, why would nature create such a system that seems so damaging? And the answer is very simple. Because when we evolved, the only thing we had to be afraid of was a saber-toothed tiger. And I say, if you escape the tiger, 10 minutes of running, whatever, then there's no more fear. And then you immediately go back into growth, okay? Well, the point is, in today's world, the stress is every day. I said, what's the consequence? A health crisis that's affecting the entire globe. I go, health crisis, isn't it? Medical people are going to take care of that? I go, no, not at all, as a matter of fact. They're not designed to understand what's really going on. And the fact stress is responsible for 90% of cardiovascular disease. Stress is responsible for 100% of diabetes, too. Stress is the cause of cancer. I go, all those things are rampant in today's society. Why? Because we were never designed to stay in stress for a prolonged period. And so all of a sudden I say, yep, you have shut off your immune system, you've shut off the growth of your ability, and you've shut down your conscious awareness. I said, what does that make you? Victims of fear. And the fear is what? A war? Oh, that's a fear. Guess what? Fear is, do I have enough money to go to the grocery store? Fear is, can I afford to go to an emergency room? Can I afford my basic needs to survive? And the answer is, not today. It's not sure anymore. So the world is in a constant struggle here. And the problem that we're facing is we're adding the biggest stress of all, and nobody's even talking about it. I go, what is that? The answer is this. According to science, today, it takes 1.6 planet Earth's resources to provide for today's civilization. I go, wait, 1.6 planets worth of resources? Well, the math is we have one planet. Where's the extra 0.6 coming from? And the answer is we're undermining the web of life. We're destroying the ecosystem. We're mining and taking stuff out and destroying the environment in which we live. Well, I have a simple point. We came from the environment. We cannot live without the environment. And so we're facing a situation that says not sustainable. In fact, NASA scientists reveal that within the next 20 years, there's going to be an irreversible, let me emphasize, irreversible collapse of civilization. Why? It's not sustainable. We can't keep doing this. So I said, does that mean the end? Oh, look, civilizations come and civilizations go. We had the Roman civilization. We had all the Greeks. When one civilization ends, a new one begins. And we're on the threshold of creating a new civilization. And I want people in the audience to understand very clearly, when you look at the world today and you see chaos in every corner of this planet, oh my God, we have religious, economic, racial chaos. Even gender chaos is coming in here now. I go, what's the point of that? It's like scary. I go, no, it's great. Huh? How can it be great? We're unsustainable. The only way to build a sustainable civilization is not on the foundation of today's civilization, because today's civilization is the cause of the problem. So you can't fix the one we have. It has to be leveled, and a new one begins. Well, your job, Alyssa, is part of this new evolution, and that is what? It's not a physical thing. My body isn't going to change through evolution. No. It's consciousness is what evolution is all about. And knowledge is power. Oh, let me say it again. A lack of knowledge is a lack of power. What you don't know can kill you. And you've been held back of knowledge by people who are in control. The fact is, we have come to believe ourselves as frail, vulnerable individual humans, open to all kinds of disease and blah, 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 blah. And I go, that's 100% false. We are the most powerful, adaptive, creative organism on this planet. I go, so where's the problem? Because you believe you're a victim. And victim means powerless. And when you act as powerless, you give up your power. This is the problem. And the issue is, do not fear the collapse. Matter of fact, encourage the collapse. Because the system we have is the source of the problem.
And the consciousness in which it was created from the system. If you want to save years of unnecessarily struggling in relationships, whether you're singled or coupled, I have created a free love quiz for you that just takes 15 minutes. And it's going to help you understand why you're attracted to who you're attracted to, the hidden ways you might be pushing love away, and what you actually need most in relationships so that you can nurture that. And this is normally a paid offer, but for a limited time, I'm sharing it with you as a gift for being a part of my podcast community. You're also going to receive a workshop that guides you through the quiz step by step, and I take you through a powerful guided meditation, as well as coach you on how to apply these insights to your life right away. So just click the link in the show notes right now so that you can take the quiz and start applying all of the insights, creating the connection that you deeply desire. I'm curious what you feel like is the most toxic belief that humanity is buying into, that is holding back our evolution, that we should let go of or question at least.
Being powerless, being that, I'm just a victim of the world and things are happening out there and they're doing it to me and I am poor me. And I go, there's something so important that is missing. The brain is a computer, not like a computer. The brain is the absolute best computer on this planet. There's nothing more effective than the human brain. It is a computer. I go, so what? Well, if you bought a new computer at some point, and this is a while ago because a while back when you bought a computer, it didn't come with programs. You had to install programs. So I say, let's go back to that moment. You bought a brand new computer. You spent thousands of dollars. You push start. The screen lights up. And then I say, do something. And you go, I said, what do you mean? You got a brand new computer? No, not until I put the programs in do I have access to the computer. I go, aha, point. A child's brain boots up 3 months before it is born. And when it is booted up, the next part of the mechanism is to download programs. Download what? Observe the environment, observe your parents, observe your community. Why? because their behaviors are fundamental to being part of the system. You can't do what you want. You want to be a member of a family? There are things you can do.
You want to attach, you want to belong, then you need to be like, yeah.
And you got to follow the rules.
Mm-hmm.
And the same thing with community. I said, well, how is a child going to learn thousands of rules? I go, nature took care of that. I go, what did she do? Listen, and this is a fact. The first 7 years of a child's life, the brain is not at the level of consciousness. And I go, what do you mean conscious? Well, you can put wires on a person's head. It's called electroencephalograph, EEG, read brain. I go, okay. There are different vibrational frequencies, energy levels of the brain. Hopefully, most of the people we're talking to right now, their brain is at a higher level called beta, which is like schoolroom focused consciousness, a higher energy. When you go home from work today and you start to relax, you lower the energy to a calm consciousness called alpha. But the moment you fall asleep, the brain goes lower. The bottom is delta, which is out unconscious sleep. But before you get to delta, there's a place called theta, just below consciousness. I go, theta? I go, now back to the story. Theta is characterized as imagination. A child is not in consciousness level alpha until after age 7. I go, well, where is it? It's in theta. I go, yeah, but what's theta? Imagination. That's why children have that tea party. They pour nothing into the cup. They drink the nothing. It was the best tea they ever had. Ride a broom and it's a horse. The point about it is this, and speak to your imaginary friends. A child's life is half involved with imagination. I go, yeah, so. I go, I didn't tell you the other quality of theta. Hypnosis. Theta is hypnosis. I go, what's the point? A child doesn't have to learn. A child just has to observe and then download. So the function of an infant in the first, actually 2 weeks of life, actually, I think it's the first week, an infant can identify the face of its parents versus the face of anybody else. Okay? I go, why? The first level of survival is to observe the face of your parents. If they're like, then that means everything's okay. But if they're like, that means something's wrong. A child learns this in the first few weeks. Within the first 2 or 3 weeks, they can read that face. I go, why? Its survival is dependent on it. Parents don't even know this. But when a child is like crawling, an infant is crawling around and it comes across something new, the first thing it will do is look at the parent's face. Like, is this okay? Am I okay? Parents not watching creates a problem because the child is looking for information and there's no information coming. I like to give a story. A kid's on a swing in the playground and falls off the swing on the dirt. I go, what does it do? It looks to the parent's face. I go, why? If the mother's like, the kid will start crying immediately. But if the mother is,
I've seen that on you can see on Instagram where a child and a parent will like have a reaction, the kid will mirror that. And I'm also aware that what you were saying, that up until 7 years old, that a child is way more susceptible. It's really imprinted upon up until 7 years old, even more so. And I'm curious how you've seen those imprints influence how we move into adulthood, because I think that's an important conversation that we have.
Good question.
Yeah.
I'll tell you why. Because when we say the mind, it sounds like, there's a single thing called the mind. I go, no, there are two minds, two different functioning, interdependent minds. I go, what? The conscious mind, the latest level of evolution, which in humans right behind your forehead, is creative, okay? The rest of the brain back here is subconscious. You ready? that is program, habits, okay? So I said, so that's really cool. I got all these programs when I was a kid. I learned that don't take your clothes off in the bus. That's not a good idea, don't go to the bathroom on the sidewalk. Okay, I'm learning all these things, right? So I got all these programs. And now I'm going to be awake and conscious. I go, now here is the whole problem. The whole damn thing is right here. The conscious mind can do two different functions. It can look out your eyes, like looking out the windshield of a vehicle, and drive you to what? Wishes and desires. Conscious mind, wishes and desires. So if you're focusing on the world with your conscious mind, you are seeking anything that will get you to a wish or a desire. Even if your brain can't think of it, your subconscious will tell you what's good. Okay? So that's one. Now here, the killer. The conscious mind can think. What the hell does that mean? Thinking is not looking out. Thinking is looking in. A thought is on the inside. So what does that mean? I said, well, the moment you are thinking, you're not looking out at the world. And I go, oh my God, what if I'm driving the car and I'm thinking I'm going to go to the store and I'm going to get this and that? And I go, you're not driving the car with your conscious mind. I go, then what? And this is the problem. The subconscious is autopilot. It knows all the basic things, how to walk, how to talk, how to drive the car. Anything you've learned how to do, it's a program. So I can think about what I'm going to do at the store, and the subconscious steps in, drives the car. I don't need to even look out the window with my conscious mind. My subconscious got it all covered. So I go, okay, so the average person thinks 95% of the day, average. I go, what's that mean? Is your life coming from your wishes and desires? 5%.
That's crazy.
95% is because you are thinking the program takes over. Where'd you get the program? Oh, from your parents, from your community. Were they good programs? Well, some of them may have been good, but psychologists reveal 60% minimum are disempowering, self-sabotaging, and limiting beliefs that you have programmed. I go, so I'd be aware if I was screwing myself up. I go, no, you won't. I go, why? Because when you are thinking, you're not looking out. You have no idea what the heck your subconscious just said. I go, why is that important? Well, if you have a lot of negative programs, the people that are hearing you respond or hearing and seeing you respond in a very negative way. And their response to you is going to be a negative response. I go, so what does that mean? I go, well, I wanted to be successful, but those people, they interfered. They interfered. I go, no, I'm sorry. 95% of the day you were sabotaging yourself and they're just responding to your behavior. And all of a sudden it goes, oh my God, what does that mean? I'm going to use this word. People, don't turn this off after I use this word. Okay, ready? Responsibility. I go, what does that mean? You're the creator. You're responsible. But it's not working. I go, you're the creator. What programs are you using unconsciously to mess with you?
I love that you share this. And part of the work that I teach, I used to be a psychotherapist and I work with coaches now. And I'll share that it's like we have a desire or a dream. That's 5%, the conscious mind that says the foot on the gas. And then there's a foot on the brake, which is this 95% of our subconscious fears that come up. So it's like, I want it and I'm scared of it. I want to grow my business, but I'm afraid of being seen. I want to fall in love, but I'm afraid of being hurt. And this competing desire creates a lot of resistance. And so some of the work is to slow down, to get into a mindful state, to really listen to what the unconscious programming was around money, around relationships, around what we inherited and we thought life is, so that we can reevaluate and question, waking up out of those programs and replace what's more true or just at least see beyond it. And so I love bringing in, some of your work with this, because I think it's so helpful to know that we are the creator. We are responsible. I think personal responsibility is the sexiest thing. People override it. And it's truly so empowering when you start to realize it's not about doing more. It's not about burning out. It's about letting go. It's integrating the change. And so I'm curious, just from your own life, if there was a tool or a practice that has supported you around reprogramming the subconscious that you can share with people to become more conscious creators.
100%. I wouldn't be who I am today if I didn't change the programming. For example, one of the things is being an infant and watching my father and my mother's relationship, I downloaded my father's behavior. What? It was automatic. Okay? Little did I know they had a dysfunctional relationship. I said, what does that mean? What kind of behaviors did I download? Dysfunctional to the extent that I was almost 50 years old before I met my partner, Margaret. And I only met her after I changed the program. And I couldn't have written my book, The Biology of Belief, because my subconscious said, if you write this book, you're going to lose accreditation with your colleagues. You're going to write about consciousness and spirituality in a biology book? I go, yeah. And they said, you can't do that. And so I tried to write the book. I actually started twice, got halfway through the book, and it just petered out. And I couldn't figure it out until I found out my subconscious was protecting me.
Yes.
It said, if you write this book, you're going to be lost. I had to change that program. And within a couple of months after changing the program, the book was done. Why? It was held up because of a limit belief in the subconscious programming. And the issue about this is, let me just help people for a second because of this. Most of the programming you got before age 7, and you weren't even conscious. So what are your programs? And the answer is, well, I'll think about it. I go, I don't care how much you think about it. Why? The conscious mind cannot review the programs in the subconscious mind. That's like the Library of Congress. There's so much stuff in there, and I love it. I'm going to give myself a good talking to. I go, who are you talking to? Oh, I'm talking to the subconscious. I go, there's nobody in there. It's a machine. It's a hard drive. So I said, what are your programs? And you might try to think. Okay, I go, let me help you very quickly. The things you like that come into your life, they come in because you have programs to access those things. The things you work hard on, sweat over, struggle with, put effort into, I'm making it, I'm going to work hard on it. Why are you working so hard? I love it, because the answer is, the programs you have do not support that destination. And you're trying to override something that's working 95% of the day against you. So, big problem right there, okay? So, you have to understand your program. And therefore, don't worry about the stuff that's coming in and works and you love. That's why you have the program for that. But everything, whether it's money, as you said, job,
relationship,
effort,
life will show us.
Yeah.
Anything that's unconscious or subconscious, life will reveal through the physical reality so that we can see it. And then we get to question, oh, is this actually my truth? And again, like slowing down to get into a more mindful state is part of what's important to reprogram from the head back up into the heart, to recondition and new ways of being and seeing the world, and challenging, really having critical thinking, super important.
100%. I agree with that 100%. It's very interesting. Let me just add this. The movie The Matrix is like, this is science fiction. I go, it's not science fiction. Matrix is a documentary. Huh? I go, yeah, what's the premise? Everybody's been programmed. I go, well, that's a fact of science. Everybody's programmed. But what the exciting part was, well, if you take the red pill, you get out of the program. And then I talk to my audiences, which are mainly people over teenage, and I go, everyone in this room has taken that red pill at least once, and it changed their life instantly. I go, what was that? You ready? Falling in love. Why? Science has recognized when you fall in love, you stop thinking and you stay present. You stay mindful. Why? You want this person to come into your life and now you're going to go think? No, the heck with that. You want to be here for that. So you stop thinking. Then what? Then your life at that moment is not run by programs. It's run by wishes and desires. And I go, what happens in 24 hours? Your life is blah, 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 blah. You meet somebody 24 hours later. It's like, oh, life is so beautiful. I go, what happened? You stopped playing the program. You became the creator. You manifested wishes and desires. It's called the honeymoon. I go, that's great. But it doesn't last. I go, why not? Because there's a point where life comes back in again. You have chores, you have work, you have obligations. You start thinking. And the moment you start thinking, old programs show up. So what's the point? You ready? When you first fall in love, the honeymoon, your partner never saw your real programs. The partner saw you, your spirit, your wishes, your desires as a manifestation. The moment you start thinking, then programs that never have played in that honeymoon start to show up. Not good ones. I love it because the famous thing goes, your partner sees you with this like, who are you? Where did that come from? Here's where the problem comes from. Argument, ready? The person who just said whatever they said from the program had no idea what they said because it was a program.
Yeah, from their parents, from those past generations until you do the work. I think the honeymoon phase shows us what's possible after we do the work. And as you're talking, and I was hearing falling in love, rising in love, part of this work is about falling in love. And part of why that creativity happens because we feel safe. And so we can feel like we can drop in to be really present. And as we feel safe, then we're more present. Like safety really is in the present moment, but that falling in love helps us be more of ourselves. And so I think that life has an intelligence that it gets us drunk on oxytocin and this falling in love cocktails, where then we're motivated to do the work because we've just gotten a taste of what's possible to maintain after we do the work. I wanted to ask you about intergenerational trauma and how it can cause illness beyond just genetics.
Oh my goodness. Let me give you a fact, and this is important. I'm going to emphasize the word less than 1% of disease is even connected to genetics. 99% of disease has nothing to do with genetics, has everything to do with lifestyle and consciousness. And this is why your work becomes so important, because your work says, look, I'm not going to mess with your biology and change your chemistry. That has nothing to do with it. I need to mess with your consciousness. I need you to wake up. I need you to see that you've been programmed, and then we can work on rewriting those programs. So let me say, how do you change a program? So how did you get a program? Aha! The first level of getting a program was Theta through age 7, a state of hypnosis. So you can use hypnosis and get back. And I go, yeah, but there's a faster and better way. It's called self-hypnosis. I go, what the heck is that? As I said, every night when you go to bed, the moment the conscious mind's vibration drops to the next level, you are now unconscious. Your mind is disconnected. You're in Theta for a short period of time. Well, what is Theta? Hypnosis. So I said, what if you have earbuds or earphones on, playing a program you want to be true in your life, one that you don't have, whether it's about love, money, relationships, job, whatever, you want to change the program. They're called self-help programs, many of them. You can do one yourself. But the idea is this. If you put the program on just before you fall asleep, you'll hear it, the program, for a short moment until the consciousness goes, poop. It's unconscious. Now, where are you? In Theta. Yeah. But what's coming in your ears? A new program. And so you repeat this for a number of nights. Why? Because Theta isn't a very long period. So you repeat this process of self-hypnosis. What did you do? I rewrote the program by going to sleep. I go, well, good. Not a lot of work on your part. You just have to go to sleep. I love that right away. So the only caveat, not the only one, but the main caveat of doing self-help programs is Whatever your program you want to change, you have to express it as something you already have. Okay? It has to be in the sense of being present tense, positive. You can't do a negative program. It's got to be a positive program.
So for to give people an example, it's not like I'm not eating junk food. It would be I am eating salads. So you're focusing on what you do want as like a very simple example.
I eat healthy food. Mm-hmm. The simpler it is, the more basic it is.
I am safe.
Yeah, I am healthy. I am lovable. Oh my God. Let me tell you something. 90% of this population, 80 to 90%, will not test positive for the belief I love myself. I go, why not? And there's a point, because most kids grew up with parents who acted like coaches of a sports team. I go, what do you mean? I said, well, a player on a team isn't performing well. The coach doesn't go, oh, please do better. No, the coach says, that's not good enough. Who do you think you are? You don't belong on this team. Well, a player on the team is in the conscious level, understands, oh, the coach is telling me I better do better and I'm going to work harder. What if the parent acts as a coach and the child is under 7? I go, it's not conscious. What is it? Hypnosis. That's not good enough. Who do you think you are? You're not that smart. You don't deserve this. If the parent says that and the kid's under 7, the kid's not consciously understanding. The kid is actually downloading, I'm not good enough. I'm not lovable. I go, what's the point? Well, those programs of disempowerment are running 95% of the day. And therefore, you will disempower yourself. I had this with my father with that dysfunctional relationship. Why? I'd get into a relationship, and then as soon as my father's behavior would start to show up, they would disappear. And I go, why? They heard me from my program. They didn't hear me from my conscious wish and spiritual connection. Okay? And I changed that program and wrote, I am lovable. And I said, 80 to 90% of the people will not test positive for that. Why? Because of this criticism they received in the first 7 years of parents who were thinking, if I criticize them, they will do better. Like the coach. I go, yeah, but if the kid's under 7, they're not thinking, they're just recording.
And the best work we can do as parents is to do our own work. And I think still even the best work we can do to help humanity heal is to do our own work. We start with ourselves. And for parents that may be listening and feeling guilty also, the guilt is also going to be something that you program in patterns so you can bring forgiveness to any of the misunderstandings around one powerful practice that I learned when I was at the University of Santa Monica in spiritual psychology. It was a master's program. You essentially get into Theta. So it's not self-hypnosis, but you're getting into Theta, which is the key point where you forgive any judgments that you've had about yourself and the beliefs that you've bought into. So I forgive myself for buying into the illusion that I wasn't good enough or I needed to perform to be loved. And then you state what's true. The truth is, so you're in this more conscious Theta state and you're wiring back from your heart into your head. The truth is, I am lovable as I am. The truth is, my worth is inherent. And you feel that in your cells. And over time, that does reprogram. I used to have such a fierce inner critic, and I started bringing compassion to the critical voice. And I shifted the radio frequency. I have more compassion as a go-to. It has muscle memory. It needs consistent going to the gym and practicing, but I go to compassion radio station way sooner than I'll go to criticism. And even if I go to criticism, then it's feedback for me that I know that I'm burnout or tired or I need a break. And so I don't criticize the criticism, which is another layer of criticism. I'll bring some of that compassion in Theta. And so I just want to give people a practical tool to use for it.
Absolutely. You learn programs because you were in a state of hypnosis. But after age 7, you learn programs, how to drive a car or ride a bike, play a musical instrument, whatever. I go, how'd you get those programs? And that was the parts I was just bringing up. Repetition, habituation. You want to change something, you repeat it, you repeat it, you repeat it. The new age is fake it till you make it. Well, fake it if you're not a happy person. It's just all day long when you can say to yourself, and many times as possible, I am happy. I am happy. The system learns by repetition. If you keep repeating that, there'll be a day you wake up, you won't have to say it because it's already downloaded as a program. Okay? So the first way of changing a program is self-hypnosis.
Theta specifically, right?
Yes, theta is real important. That's why relaxing. You know, in the old days, the hypnotherapists had a watch on a chain, and they'd go back and forth, and they say, you're getting tired, and of course you got, okay, then they were ready for a download. The second one is the habituation process. You practice something, repeat it, repeat it, repeat it. It becomes a habit, which is a program. The third is relatively new. It's called energy psychology. It's not the old-fashioned psychology, oh, your mom did this and your dad did that and your best friend did that, which is doing what? Bringing up memories to your conscious mind and replaying them. I go, this is not a benefit. This is why they have tissue boxes at the couch when you're getting your psychology done there, because you're going to cry. I go, let me help you with this. The point is very simply this. You already have the program. You don't have to go back and see how you got the program. There's an old saying, don't kill the messenger over the message. The message is the program. The messenger is who brought it. Do I go back and get mad at the people who brought it? I go, it's irrelevant. They're not even here. I walked away with a program. So I want to change the program.
I would love to talk about this a little because in my work, having worked as a therapist and coach and helping people create performance change, my experience is going back because it's usually stored in the subconscious and showing up in the conscious world. So if I have a goal to be in relationship, but I'm scared of being hurt because I was hurt or I don't feel lovable, going back to allow oftentimes there is pain and repressed emotion. So allowing the emotion to come up and out, and neuroscientists have found it only takes 90 seconds to come up and be cleared, allowing that to come up, questioning the programming, waking up beyond it, finding evidence for how it's not true, because that also scientifically supports deepening of your own conscious belief that I am lovable and here are the specific ways. So you're almost debunking the mind, but also just energetically moving it through your nervous system. So you're not repressing that old pain.
80 to 90% of people will not test positive for I love myself, and that's based on the fact that they were so criticized as kids that their own criticism sabotages themselves, okay? They'll get into a relationship, and once the program starts, then the relationship ends, and they go, see, I'm not lovable. They're not here. Nobody's here. I go, you did that. You didn't know you did that. You pushed them away because your program was not good enough. I want to add a second one because it also applies to that same percentage, and this is especially for women. The belief, I am safe. 80-90% of women will not even get near that one. Why? Come on, look at your growing up. Look at your life experiences. Look at what you saw, felt, believed, got involved with. It doesn't give you any positive sense of safety. Well, if you're not safe, then where are you? In protection. I go, what's the point? Growth is go out, be open, take it in. Protection is go away, be closed, and protect yourself. Well, you can't go to a stimulus and away at the same time. You can't be open and closed at the same time. So you can be in growth or you can be in protection, but not at the same time. And the issue about it is the protection mode is what most of us are in. And it's not just women, of course. Protection is, do I still have a job? Yikes, this kind of issue. And this is why 90% of health crisis has nothing to do with genes and has everything to do with lifestyle. And this is the wake-up call. We have to stop blaming the world, other people, because we take ourselves out of the equation. I go, you can't take it. You are the source of the equation. You can't take yourself out and say it's all those people. But people don't want to hear that because it's easier to blame
They
somebody.
think it's easier to blame. Yeah, it's actually postpones changing it by thinking it's everybody else. We just take
Yeah.
those same conscious perspectives onto everything and everyone else. But yeah, just to wrap that, I love you absolutely don't have to go to the past if you don't need to. You can absolutely integrate it somatically because there is some part of your past that is playing out in the present. And the power of questioning those beliefs, that programming, finding evidence of the contrary. If that image or that memory is present and available and emotion has been stuck, I do find it's helpful to allow the emotion to come up with presence as a sensation, not a story, so that it can move through your nervous system. And if you have a repeat image or memory, you can also shift it because memory research, you probably know about it, but what we think to be memory is not. And so you can also shift that memory so that you bring in somebody that felt safe so that you can feel it on every cell of your body. And you can bring in, they call it like a resource or somebody that brings that sense of love and connection to a time where you did feel disempowered as a way to support integrating it into the now and moving forward.
I want to, get rid of the disillusionment. And that is, the memory is in my cells. The memory is in my organ. I don't know. The memory is in the energy field, and the field shapes matter. Now, quantum physics is the most valid of all the sciences on this planet. And there's a quote that I use in all my lectures from Albert Einstein. The field is the sole governing agency of matter. I go, what's that mean? What's the field? The invisible energy. I said, what's that? Consciousness, spirituality. And I go, why is that important? That shapes us. If our consciousness has got bad programs, that energy of the program, it's sort of like if you take iron and use a file and make little particles called iron filings, and you sprinkle them on a piece of paper, they form a random pile. Every time, random pile. But I say, put a magnet underneath that piece of paper. Now when you sprinkle those iron filings, they form that beautiful array of the magnetic field every time. So where did the pattern come from? The iron filings? I go, no, the iron filings have no pattern at all, matter. Put a field in, and the field shaped matter. Well, this is the quote from Einstein. And I say, what's the field? Consciousness. I go, yeah, but what if your consciousness isn't in harmony? I go, then your matter is not in harmony. And we always the medical profession wants to fix everything below your neck with chemistry and drugs and blah, blah, surgery, blah, blah, blah. I go, that's not the source, that's the consequence. The source was here, and it controls everything below your neck. And the idea of, my liver has a problem. I go, no, you have a problem. Your liver is manifesting that problem. And why is this important? Because medicine covers the symptom. Oh, I got pain. Take this pill. Oh, I don't have pain. I said, you never dealt with why you had pain? Take a drug. It'll affect this. I go, yeah, but why is it not working in the first place? Was it genetic? Don't go there. Less than 1%. Don't even go there. Okay?
Yeah, we go to the root, right?
It's the field. And this is what you were talking about. This is the work of what? When you're changing consciousness, you're not changing the physical matter, you're changing the field, which then shapes physical matter. So trying to adjust your life by adjusting your biology, the biology came after the field. So you can keep trying to adjust it, but if you don't change the field, it'll keep coming back. You have cancer. Oh yeah, I did chemo and radiation, it's gone. I said it's going to come back if you didn't change the source of the cancer. Oh, yeah, but it's running in my family. Oh, but this is where we started. What's running? Cancer. Is there a cancer gene? Oh boy, wake up, folks. There's not one gene that causes cancer. Genes are correlated with cancer. They don't cause cancer. Women should wake up because they have been put in a fear mode. Remember, fear makes you the victim, okay? Oh, you have the breast cancer gene. Oh, I'm going to get breast cancer. I go, the gene doesn't cause breast cancer. 50% of the women with the gene never get the breast cancer. Having the gene did not cause the cancer. Having a life not in harmony will engage the cancer cell. Okay? And you want to fix it by killing the cancer cells. I say, I'm sorry, the cells, they already got the cancer. You didn't stop how they got the cancer. You say, I'll kill out all the cancer cells. I say, yeah, but you didn't stop how they became cancer. Why? Because that wasn't in the genes. It was in the field. It was in the programming. And then we talked about kids downloading programs. I go, they follow the fate of kids adopted into families where the cancer was running in the family. And it turns out an adopted child will get the same family cancer at the same rate as a natural sibling, although the adopted child has totally different genetics. What was the point? Cancer was programming, and it was passed from parent to child, and it runs in a lineage, and you say it's genetics. And I go, programming is as powerful as genetics and perhaps more powerful because of a new science called epigenetics, which is mind over matter. And so we look at our illnesses and blame the body, and I go, please, you're missing the point. You can try and adjust the body, but if you don't adjust the source, things come back.
Yeah. And it's more empowering that way to know that we can shift the field, that we can shift our beliefs so that as a result shows up in our body and in our lives.
Yeah, but the disempowerment was nobody tells you that.
Yeah.
Oh, you have a gene. It's like, oh my God, I'm a victim. I didn't pick the damn gene that's in there. It's going to do something. I say, I love this. Just a gene is a blueprint. What do I mean? I say, it makes the proteins, which are the building blocks of the body, the structure. So if you need a protein, which wears out and you have to replace them, you need a program to replace them. The gene is a blueprint how to make a protein. I go, so what? It's a blueprint. I go, so what? Go into an architect's office, and let's say she's working on a blueprint, and you ask her, is your blueprint on or off? And she'll be looking, are you crazy? It's a blueprint. There's no on and off. Aha! It's the architect that reads the blueprints that determines the structure. The mind, via epigenetics, activates the genes and controls the readout of those genes. And you look at genes causing your problem, I go, no, consciousness is causing a problem because you can come with a mutant gene but change consciousness and the mutant gene won't affect you. Or, and this is a bigger one, you come with a healthy gene and consciousness can cause it to become a mutated gene. And you keep thinking genes were doing this outside of your control. I go, never. Never. We are the absolute creators of our biology.
Such an empowering message. Thank you, Bruce. And there's so many gems from today. I'm just wondering if there's anything that I haven't asked that would be incredibly valuable that you sense that
one
people.
last one, because we started with this, Alyssa. You ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
As a scientist, I was not a spiritual person. As a scientist, I believed in genes, proteins, chromosomes, cells, blah, blah, blah. In my study of cells, a very interesting fact shows up. How come you cannot transplant your organ or cells into another person? Because if you do, their immune system will say, not self. I go, oh, there's a self? I go, what is it? Well, it's physical. Why? Because the immune system reads physical things, viruses, bacteria, parasites. I say, what is it? That the immune system would say, those are not my cells. And the answer is the immune system looks on the surface of your cells and the cells that are in your body. There are a set of receptors. Receptors are like eyes, ears, nose, taste. They read the environment and give us information. Well, on the cell, they're proteins, just like antennas, like when we used to have television sets with antennas, download this of the signal. There's a set of antennas on your cells that are called self-receptors. Interesting name. It wasn't named for that understanding, but they're receivers of self. I go, what's the point? No two people in the entire world have the same set of self-receptors. I go, so what does it mean? Well, they're downloading a signal, receptors. I go, yeah, but what about it? No two people are downloading the same signal. I go, and what makes us different? Those receptors. Take the receptors off and your cells are like everybody else's. The receptors. I go, so what does that mean? Your identity is not built into the cells. Your personal identity is received by a set of receptors on the surface of your cells, antennas, downloading a vibrational frequency nobody else downloads. I go, so what's the point? Well, when I recognized this, I thought, oh my God. I go, what? You cannot die. Huh? You're not even in here. I said, where are you? You're up here, playing through a set of antennas. Analogy, ready? The body is a television set. You are now watching the Bruce show, Bruce television. And when a television breaks, we say it's dead. And I go, yes, it is. Can't use it. Done. Oh, when the television broke, did the broadcast stop? No, broadcast not in the TV. I go, what does that mean? Your identity is the broadcast. And you're playing through a device that manifests it. I go, so why is that important? Your body's the TV. When it's dead, it doesn't work. But the broadcast that was picked up by those self-receptors is always here. And if a baby in the future shows up with the same set of those receptors, you're back. But what? Different TV. Does it make a difference if it's male or female? That's the TV. That's not you. Does it make a difference? White, brown, black, red, yellow? No. That's the TV. It's not you. You are the spirit. And we always used to think my thoughts are contained in my head. That's why I put the wires on my head, EEG. There's another device called MEG, magnetoencephalograph. I go, what's the point? It reads your brain just like EEG. But I said, what's different? The probe is out here. Doesn't even touch you. And so what does that mean? Your thoughts are broadcast. And if you're in a relationship with somebody for a long enough time period, guess what? You can read the broadcast before they even say anything. Because the energy. Your dog, or especially not cats so much, but dogs, they tune in to your broadcast. They don't understand their name, Fido, Rex. No, they understand that when you have a vibration intentioning them, they experience it, okay? If you're happy, they're happy. If you're angry, they're angry. And that's why pit bulls get a bad name, because most of the people who have those pit bulls are angry people are going, pit bull is protect me with it. I go, well, you already have a problem. Now your dog is going to do the vibration, because dogs are programmed to tune into the vibe of the owner. And so the point about all this is simply this. Our life experiences aren't contained in here. They're sent back to the source. And every life you have, you alter the vibration of that source. It's called karma. Yeah, you change the program. If you get a chance to come back. I said, what if you come back? Can you change? I go, that is the wake up. Because you can change that karma and then become the absolute creator that we were when we arrived on this planet. We control our genetics, we control our life characteristics, we control our behavior. We are in total control, except for the programming that says you're a victim. Because once you believe you're a victim, by definition, you have given up control. Oh, I'm the victim. I need somebody else. I go, never needed that.
What an empowering message. Truly. I mean, thank you for your wisdom. Thank you for your heart, your enthusiasm for what you do. It comes through so fully. And I know my audience is going to want to stay connected to you and what you have going on. Can you share with us a little bit more?
Oh yeah, I love my life, as you may have noticed. And now, first 40 years, that was a questionable. I don't know if I was that happy. Ever since I learned, ever since I understood that I could reprogram, I immediately started reprogramming things that were negative in my life experiences. To the extent I haven't reprogrammed all of them, but I have to say, I'm not talking about heaven on earth as an idea. I'm talking about the fact that I'm living it. That I have no anger. I have no fear. Right? Well, that whole thing has disappeared. Death is not the end. Not at all, you know. I have no anger. I have no fear. I have great wishes and desires. I got so many wonderful people around me. Why? Because everybody wants to be around the good vibe. And if you become the good vibe, then you're at the center of creating life for other people as well. People want that. And I came from no vibe, well, no good vibe, to today. And I did this through understanding, knowledge. Without that knowledge, I'm just another victim in this world like everybody else. And it's like, I'm not a victim, and you're not a victim. Only if you believe you're a victim, you're a victim. And you've been programmed to be a victim. Why? Because then you gave up your power. And other people control you. And it's the idea is the evolution we're facing is to wake up. Because everybody loves to have that honeymoon effect. I go, what's honeymoon effect? Heaven on earth. Are you ready for this one? People think if you have a good life and you die, you can go to heaven. I'm going to tell you something. Too late. By the time you died, you missed it. I go, what do you mean? You were born into heaven. I go, this is heaven? Well, if you look outside, it doesn't look that great, but then those are the other people with their programs. What if you change your program? Well, then I live heaven on earth. In spite of all the garbage, it's not in my life. I'm here creating. What's creating? What is heaven? That's your creation. But if your programs have taken you off, then your creation will not manifest what you want. You manifest the program.
And the importance of doing this work. The more I do this podcast, the more, and the whole original intention was to give people perspectives and tools to change their life.
Yeah.
And it just keeps affirming the importance of this work.
Yeah. And that's why I honor you, because you're out there in the trenches trying to lift the people up out of that trench and let them walk on the land again in the sunlight. Because they don't know they're powerful. Because it's a belief. I'm not powerful. Then if I say that, then I'm not powerful. That's what I believe. And the idea is your work is evolutionary because you are bringing people awareness. You're bringing people a consciousness that allows them to transcend the victim that they've been programmed to believe who they are. And therefore, let me thank you for this opportunity to be with you. Because I want to encourage you, and I want to encourage everybody in this audience that listens to you. This is a world in evolution. The evolution, you're not physically going to change. You're consciously going to change. You're going to own who you are. You're a spiritual, creative energy. You don't die and go to heaven. You're here to manifest it. Because this is a device, a virtual suit, to manifest reality with whatever vision you have. Because when the body's gone, you might have vision, but there's no manifestation at that point. And so don't waste your remaining time on heaven living a program of hell.
Oof. Powerful. Powerful, Bruce. Thank you so much. I just am so blown away by you and so grateful. And I know your website, brucelipton.com, and just thank you. Thank you for who you are. Thank you for how you move through the world. Thank you so much for doing this work that changes the world, starting with yourself. It truly does make a difference. And if you're finding value in this podcast, a cost-free way to support us is by following us. It does help us grow, and we are so grateful. Leave a review on Apple or Spotify, submit a screenshot of that, and upload it to alyssanobriga.com/podcast. As a thank you gift, we will be sending you one of the most powerful tools that you can use on any area of your life to help you tap into your full potential so that you don't let fear hold you back from really stepping into your dreams. I have so much more magic I want to share with you, and I cannot wait to do that soon. But for now, I just want to say thank you so much for being an example of what it's like to live with an open heart and mind in the world.